Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Nature. I'm currently in London today and I'm heading towards Brentwood and St Lawrence. This building is called One Blackfriars. This is St Pauls Cathedral and dates back to 604 AD. This is the Savoy Hotel. This is Trafalgar Square and the National Gallery. Please subscribe if you enjoy watching this video. We're currently coming out of London now and we're going to take the A13 and then further the A25 in order to get to Brentwood. Brentwood is in Essex, in the east of England. Brentwood is a suburban town with a small but expanding shopping area and high street. Brentwood is a suburban town with a small but expanding shopping area and high street. Beyond this are residential developments surrounded by open countryside and woodland. Some of the countryside lies within only a few hundred yards of the town centre. The name Brentwood was assumed by some in 1700s to derive from the corruption of the words burnt and wood, with the name Burntwood still visible on some 18th century maps. However, Brent was the Middle English for burnt. The name describes the presumed reason for settlement in the part of the Forest of Essex, later becoming Epping Forest, that would have covered the area. At the time, most of Essex was covered by great forest. It has been believed that despite the Roman roads between London and Colchester passing through the town, the Saxons were the earliest settlers in the area. Beyond this are residential developments surrounded by open and countryside woodland. We have arrived at the cathedral called St Mary and St Helen, which is a Roman Catholic cathedral in Brentwood, Essex. Brentwood Cathedral began in 1861 as a parish church built in a Gothic style. Work began in 1989 and was completed 2 years later. This relatively small building was raised to cathedral status in 1917. The original church building on the south side was retained. Between 1989 and 1991, the church was enlarged in an Italian classical style by Quinlan Terry. Architecturally, Quinlan Terry took his inspiration from the early Italian Renaissance crossed with the English Baroque of Christopher Wren. This was felt would be appropriate for the town and its conservation area, but above it all, it would provide the right space and light for it to be celebrated. The cathedral was designed along a square plan, focused on the high altar placed in a nave to accommodate the changes in liturgical fashion after the Second Vatican Council. A conscious decision was taken to retain part of the Gothic Revival Church in 1861, alongside the new classical cathedral. The east elevation juxtaposes the old and new, linking them through the scale of the 1991 building and the use of ragstone and Welsh slate roof tiles. Today, the town of Brentwood is increasingly suburban, but it does have a very rural feel with trees, fields and open spaces all around the town. Shenford Common is also less than 1 mile from the town centre shops. Weald Country Park was the first chosen to hold the 2012 Olympic mountain biking but was declared to be too easy of a course. Brentwood does however host a number of cycle races that attracts many Britain's greatest cyclists. Brentwood has a number of public open spaces including King George V playing field, Shenford Common and 2 country parks on the South Weald and Thorndon. During World War II, over 1,000 bombs were dropped in the Brentwood area with 19 flying bombs and 32 long-range rockets. 5,038 houses were destroyed, with 389 people were injured and 43 died. Brentwood had been considered a safe enough haven to evacuate London children here. 6,000 children arrived in September 1939 alone. We're still in the Brentwood area, and as you can see there's lots of greenery and trees filled all around us. Now we're heading towards St. Lawrence, which will be our final destination. And here we are, guys, we have arrived at St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence is located on the Blackwater estuary of the River Blackwater between Malden and West Mersey in Essex. Oysters have been harvested from the estuary for more than 1,000 years, and there are remains of the fish weirs from the Anglo-Saxon era.